fellow indigenous nationalities and true owners of the old Nigeria, we salute and wish you Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Why we play the old national anthem is that it gives us inspiration. The aspiration it infuses into us makes us to remember the yesteryears, how Nigeria was when it was truly existing. So we are going to give a general review of the prevailing circumstances in Nigeria today. Nigeria came into being 1960. We will only highlight some aspects. I'm not going to delve into true historical part of this thing. We have heard of this a time without number. The first thing that happened to Nigeria that led to this very situation where we are today was when a country newly formed was assumed to be for a particular group of people, whereas the others agreed that we've got a new country and we are going to develop it. We said we are not going into history. This was the imagination of Sir Ahmadu Bello, the then Sardauna of Sokoto. I quote him: the newly formed estate called Nigeria should be my grandfather's estate. We are not going to hire people from outside the Fulani region. If we have nobody, we will hire expatriate. If no expatriate, then we will hire others. Others mean other members of the country on a contract basis and renewable every year. That was the genesis of all these troubles we are facing today. Then, thirdly, we will ruthlessly deal with the Middle Belters, although it wasn't Middle Belt that time. We will ruthlessly deal with them if they resist our authority. We will use them as willing tools. Furthermore, we are going to ensure that the South, the then Southern Nigeria, are never allowed to rule over the Fulanis, and are also never allowed to control their own affairs. These are the cardinal points that led to this thing, and with other subsequent utterances from people like Sardauna of Sokoto, that is Sir Ahmadu Bello. War broke out. We fought a war. The Igbos were killed in millions. Their homestead was devastatedly destroyed. That was the second era. The third era was the era of coups and counter-coups, and also led by the Fulanis. The period of darkness came. Who started it? It was Major General Buhari. 1983, he usurped the gentleman that was democratically elected and voted to control the affairs of the country, Alhaji Shehu Shagari. That was there. So the whole thing started building up until people started reading meaning to why is it that a particular group was always the leader of coups and counter coups. Then the era of coup went away. We managed to survive it and got to 1999. Because whether you say 19 something to 1980, 1979, it was military, then a kind of a democratic twilight. We did not allow, was not allowed to mature. Then back to to a state of darkness, led by Major General Buhari. So that being the case, we all experience this, so we don't have time for history. Let us assess what is on ground, how we are faring now. We wobbled into what we call a democracy. We will say, we gave Obasanjo a very good pass mark. He started the whole process and was trying to make the country look a true nation. The military was overhauled. The police was overhauled. Then everything was going on fine. Although here and there, it was being bashed. It was that time they came up with the idea of introducing Sharia to the country, just to cause foment trouble. If you steal, we will cut your arm. So when there was no trouble, they expanded. Today, the question we want to ask is whether there is Nigeria. If you believe there is Nigeria, you make up your mind and say why. If you believe that there is no Nigeria, make up your mind and think of how we will improve. How we will improve on it. We, the members of Southern Nigeria, Middle Belt and Northern Minorities Forum, we are not interested in disintegration. We are not interested in dividing the country. But the elements with the mind of divisibility have since divided the country. Look at it. If you look at it from this point, Nigeria was a secular country. You practice any religion you like. You were free to move to anywhere. The north to south, south to north. We were developing along that line. Suddenly, people came and said they don't want any other religion. And now they have 12 states, 12 fully blown up Sharia states. If you say you are bold enough and you are a true Nigerian, go to Zamfara, Yobe, Katsina. I will not say Sokoto. It looks like Sokoto is a liberal state. Go to all those places and see whether they will not behead you if you behave the other way. And this is the barbaric practice of the present regime. The regime cannot deny having sponsored terrorism to a state and nurture it to a level where they now cannot control it before they started crying wolf. Whereas they are behind the distance. I cannot quote so many utterances that came from the present head of state. Who are the people he has appointed? Somebody like Issa Patami is not even supposed to be there, supposed to be facing a kind of trial. Those are the agents of... look at Garuba Shehu. Look at Bugaje. Look at Gumi. All these are his agents. Nothing has happened to any of them. The terrorists that were caught those days, they were released. Some were even re-employed into the military. Some of them are in the police force. They gave them a different code name, bandits. What does bandit do? They kill. What does a terrorist do? He kills. Bandits. Since the coming of this regime in 2015, let us look at what has been happening. People cannot talk. If you talk, you are in trouble. If you are quiet, you are in trouble. The Fulanis have become a special brand of human beings. Shagari ruled us. It wasn't like that. Yaradua ruled us. It wasn't like that. They came up with a Sharia. When that was not enough, they introduced Boko Haram. They heightened the tempo. And well, may God bless him wherever he is today. God will protect you. Former President Dr. Jonathan, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, you told us you will remember me. Some of us nearly shed tears that day. You will remember me. You have not even gone away now. We have not passed 1 decade. Everybody has remembered you. I will play this thing to boost my point. People will say, why is this man talking like that? Listen. What is happening? Yes? Okay.
I said to Goodluck, Jonathan Ebele, thank you for being a good man. It is now we are realizing that you are such a very nice, honest man. Thank you, Goodluck, Jonathan Ebele. Tomorrow, if you come out with...
Okay, you heard. That is from the north. The so-called core north. Today, let's listen to those who even accuse. That's enough, woman, don't cry. So you can hear. That is from the people that were clapping for him. Listen, this is the voice of even the governor of Kaduna State. He will not deny being a part and parcel of Buhari's regime. He cannot deny having knowledge of how all these things came around. Listen.
I just apply military force and we think we can resolve an insurgency. It's not going to happen. I've been in government. I've run a territory. And I know the amount of information I get, security reports that I get as minister. The president gets 50 times that. And I put it to you and I challenge anyone, including DGSSS, to this. The SSS know who these insurgents are. They are not ghosts. They know them. The president knows them. And they know what to do.
You can hear. That is from El-Rufai. Governor El-Rufai. Within the space of time. Well, it's just to buttress some points that we are not moving forward. How many people have gone into the grave since this regime came? It's uncountable. If you talk, you are dead. If you don't talk, you are dead. So let us talk. The best thing we have to do is to come together. Okay, starting from those that are alive. Where is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? He has been kidnapped. I don't call it arrest. He has been kidnapped and put into jail. But the most painful aspect of it is that we Nigerians, we are very gullible. And I would say we are wicked. Nnamdi was not fighting for himself. The few sellouts are able to convince his nationalities that Nnamdi is a bad person. You should have known who is a bad person, the masses. Take up and dust up your legs and look for somebody to take up the mantle of leadership and ask for a true nationalist, internationalist in the person of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is a shame. This is the old east of Zik, old east of Ojukwu, old east of Okpara, Francis Imbiah, and the rest. Is this the east? We are ashamed. Then let us go to southwest. What has Professor Banji Akintoye done now? These are the people that made the country. What has he done? Because he said, if we are not agreeing, then let our people come together. Let our people come together and take decision. He has even not done anything. Just like Sowore Omoyere. Igboho, on his own, defended his king's people. And that is what he has been driven away from. Malaifa Obadiah, for mere speaking out, that this was what the terrorists said. Instead of going after those people who are actually nurturing and sponsoring them, Obadiah has been driven to his death. He died mysteriously. That is the country. Is that what we have to clap for? The success of this regime is in the area of insecurity, anti-security. They are very successful in killing the masses. And to be very, very surprised, let me see. Some people came out to say that if Buhari goes, his legacy will be unsurpassed. I don't know what legacy. Legacy of killing, rape, kidnap, banditry, corruption, terrorism, mayati, herdsmen, and disunity. That is the legacy is going to leave behind. And people are preparing for election. They are preparing for election because Buhari said there will be election. What type of election have you asked? Is it the change? Is that the election we are going to face? I don't know why Nigerians have become so quiet. First of all, till now there is no constitution. There is no constitution. Everything about Nigeria is jumbo mumbled. We are in a state of confusion. People are taking the money, not taking, they are eating it, they are siphoning it away, hiding the money. And these are Buhari's agents that will come and tell you they want to do election. And we already are aware that somebody is bagging putting up some bags of rice, gari, beans, onions, salt, corn, to distribute to Nigerians like animals. Is that not a disgrace? Is that not a curse? And who are responsible for the downfall of this country? These are the same people. They have pauperized everybody. We are talking about what is happening in the country about this very regime. And foolish enough, people say, if you can't beat them, you join them. Do you join bandits? Do you join a rapist? You join terrorists? Remember, everything you do goes into history. We are not saying you shouldn't come out and vote, but come out and vote wisely. Come out and select your leaders. Come out and make sure the person you are putting forward is real. All hopes are not gone. Come together. Southeast, South-South, Southwest, Middle Belt, Northern minorities. Come together, since you are all on the same boat at the receiving end from the Fulanis. If you look at it, just recently you did identification registration. Without reason, Buhari swept it away and told you to do another one, and therefore open the gates for his kin and kids to come from Maghreb and the Sahel Savannah regions. They trooped in, they trudged into the country in millions, and now he re-registered them to swear the vote. And you are preparing for election. He was not there. He manipulated. He fought up to about 4 times and got into the place. You have seen what he's doing now. Now he is there. Mahmoud Yakubu, his own agent, is there as the INEC chairman. Issa Patami is there as the data man. And you are saying you want to do election. Anyway, you can do it if you are serious. A man cannot rig election where he doesn't have people. If you make it that way, and you are wise enough, if people are not greedy, people have wisdom, come together and fight this cause. Lastly, if you want to use the election to unseat these people, this gang of bandits, you can come together. If not, they do not allow you to resist them, then if they do not allow you to do the vote, resist them. The last resort will be, if they attack you, you attack them back, you fight back. But do not be the initiator of a fight. Come together. That is our clarion call. We have been saying it. Until we come together, there is no hope. The Fulanis, look at what they are doing in the east. They have almost finished with the Middle Belt. It is now time for east. Some of them use their own helicopters and private jets to supply the terrorists with arms. They know what they are doing. They first withdrew all your arms before they gave them AK-47 and machine gun to fight you, to kill you. They know it's a feed day for them. So please, we are pleading with you and we are advising you to come together. That is the message we want to pass. May God be with all of you. God bless. Bye-bye.